Perseus09 says, I've shared this story before and I wish to share it again. Here again, during an interview not that long ago, a Holocaust survivor was asked, if you knew then what you know today, how would you have dealt with the Nazis during the war? The man answered this way, if we only met them at the door with kitchen knives and fire pokers, the Holocaust would never have happened. History teaches us many lessons, and this is one of them. By doing nothing, you are granting these tyrants permission to destroy innocent lives, including your own. How far are you willing to go to stop this tyranny? What has to happen before you take action, even if it means doing the unthinkable? But when would they have had fire pokers and knives? At what stage in the game? When it was the brown shirts and the paramilitaries running around the streets? Or when it was the police authorized by laws passed by the Reichstag? At what point? Because there were some illegal riots. Kristallnacht was illegal torching of the synagogues and Jewish businesses, for example. But as I mentioned the other day, the Nuremberg laws that created racial segregation, fired Jews from jobs, for example, that was a lawful law passed lawfully. It was a moral evil law, but it was passed. So who would you take the knives up against? The police? The politicians? That's the trouble when the entire society goes off the rails. How do you fight back? Do you try and fight back from within the society? That's one of the things we grapple with here. I mean, we like to use the law. We like to go to court. We like to represent people. But what happens if the law itself is changed and you have to fight within a law that is innately immoral and tilted against you? It's a terrible question, because that Holocaust survivor's point is correct. At a certain point, you have to say, I am no longer going to limit myself to acting within the law. I'm going to use a knife and a hot poker, as he said. But what is that point? And will you, in fact, have the opprobrium of 99% of people who say, now you're the violent one, now you're the cause of this ruckus? I do not believe we are as far down the road as that Holocaust survivor says. We are not yet there. The Holocaust didn't happen overnight, though. Hitler took power in 1933. Second World War didn't start till September of 1939. The Holocaust itself didn't really get started till 1940. And the worst of it was 1943, 1944 even. So it took a decade to get there. I put it to you that we are more than a day into that decade, more than a week, more than a month. I'm not saying we're a year down that road in terms of how far they went, but we have had lawmaking by decree. We have had courts rubber stamping these decrees. We have the demonization of minorities. We have forced internment even just for a few weeks. How far down that decade-long journey that Nazi Germany made, how far down that road have we gone? I don't know. It's a terrible question. I hope we don't go any further. I don't propose the pokers and the knives strategy, but I understand the sentiment because look at what happened when no one pushed back until the end.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.